On behalf, very good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of the management, principal, Dr. Mrs. S. Kodai, head of the department, Dr. Mrs. T. Usha Priya, faculty and students of the Department of Bank Management and International Skill Development Corporation, I welcome you all to this international webinar on leveraging technology to make data-driven decisions. I extend a warm welcome to all the three speakers of this webinar. I cordially welcome all the participants who have joined us today. In this information age we live in, there is abundance of data available. Its influence is increasingly perceived by businesses world over. The success of any business organization depends on its data initiatives. Analytics plays a crucial role in converting the raw data into meaningful information and aids in arriving at an informed decision in every facet of business, be it identifying new growth areas, increasing operating margins, or devising more effective budgets. To give us more insights into analytics and its global impact, we have with us today Ms. Teresa Jacob, Executive Director, Learning and Development, ISDC. She is an experienced assessment and quality assurance specialist, a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Educational Assessors, UK, and an elected member of E-Assessment Board. She has served as the Global Head of Quality Assurance at Chartered Institute of Management, SEMA, UK, and also worked with Institute of Directors, UK. She has a broad understanding of the educational landscape relevant to awarding bodies, having worked with several well-known awarding bodies, including self-regulated chartered institutes and universities across the globe. Thank you very much, ma'am, for accepting our invitation to address this session. I extend a warm welcome to you once again. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Ladies, gentlemen, colleagues, thank you very, very much for the opportunity to address you this morning. It is a great pleasure. I am indeed very sorry not to be with you in sunny Chennai, but we are where we are, unfortunately, due to the pandemic situation around the world. But what I think is absolutely amazing is what we have seen from this pandemic is exactly how human beings who in better times tend to be somewhat conservative, somewhat risk averse, somewhat unwilling to accept new technologies, new ways of doing things. I think it's a delight to see just how in around 100 days in terms of the UK lockdown, just how in that 100 days approximately of almost global lockdown that we have seen so much massive change and willingness to change. So much talk before the pandemic situation related to Generation X, Generation Y, how Generation X and Y were very different in their learning styles in terms of being more data-driven, being more technologically comfortable, and so on. We've talked about the fourth industrial revolution, and now suddenly, I think upon us, we can all proudly say that we are actually part of the Generation COVID. I wish us all good health in terms of being Generation COVID, in that we use this awful situation to move forward. Definitely, I think COVID has been a huge disruption, but lockdown has not been shut down, and adversity breeds creativity. In fact, I would say that COVID is an almighty catalyst, one of the hugest catalysts we have seen, almost to have the proportions of a little bomb that is exploded in front of us. And I say that extremely positively. Lots and lots of changes have come by in our world. as you heard from the very kind introduction, it will become very obvious that my area of specialization is not in the world of data, of analytics. My background is far more in the much broader sector of education in terms of how we learn, and especially how we assess what we learn, what we need to learn, why we learn, and what is the value of that learning. So, like many other sectors, education has indeed been very profoundly affected. Some things I believe will change forever. I have to applaud that in other times we probably, without very much thought, would have arranged a face-to-face session where I would have had the joy, perhaps, of lighting lighting the lamp, taking the taper, joining the other dignitaries, lighting the lamp, and perhaps using that lovely Indian symbol of enlightenment, literally the lighting of the lamp, to inspire you for this session. Sadly, that is not true, but not possible, I'm afraid. That is not possible. I am not able to see your faces. But nevertheless, it's a great pleasure. And I think we have to all be very grateful for the rapid adoption of technology such as StreamYard that we're using right here, right now. I'm not proud to confess, ladies and gentlemen, not proud to confess, but actually, until a month ago, I had never used StreamYard. It was something we, it was not the way we did conferences. Now, I think we find that is probably changing forever. We will do this more and more and more. So, also, it's a great pleasure, always especially for me to talk to a college for ladies. I am a very, very proud supporter, and perhaps in some ways I have been successful as a female in the world of business. I've certainly worked very hard, and if anything I can do with ladies is to applaud the colleges for women in India. You are doing a fabulous thing. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may have heard in the introduction, I previously worked for the Institute of Directors in the UK, and it is a sad truth, even in 2020, that the glass ceiling is very, very, very much in place. And that there is still significant lack of female representation at the highest levels in pretty much every company that we come across. So, ladies, I absolutely applaud you. I'd like to give you a little quotation from a lady, a Nobel Prize winning lady, Malala Yousafzai. I'm sure you have come across Malala from Afghanistan, who survived attack for her support of female education. And her quotation, I think, is rather pertinent, but I hope Malala doesn't mind. I'm going to turn it on its head. Malala said, "Let us pick up our books, our pens. They are the most powerful weapons." Ladies, I think we all appreciate the sentiment of Malala. But ladies, let us pick up our laptops. Let us take our mouse. Let us take our data. For these days, the data that is coming through, the analysis of that data is also an extremely powerful weapon. So let us think about education in terms of empowering the use of data in everyday life. Not new, but I think, again, coming from the pandemic situation, ever growing. Ladies, I think you might find that you will come into that there will be times, if you pursue your studies of data analysis, that you will come into organizations even after your graduation where a requirement for data analytics is maybe not in the job description. It's too early for that. There are still companies out there who haven't caught on to the power of data. The ones that are going to be increasingly slowing down their own progress. Of course, on the other hand, there will be lots and lots of organizations who are part of that extreme demand for data analysts. So do be prepared to come along sometimes and be able to shout from the rooftops just what a powerful tool that you have studied as a representative of a new generation to some others from previous generations who perhaps for once don't know what they're talking about. We have a great situation here where the young are maybe teaching the more mature. And I absolutely applaud that beautiful situation. Now, to pick up another little saying, ladies, I'm very, very supportive of planning. I think that we should all plan. We have but one life, and it is very important to make a plan for that life. It is very unlikely that anybody is going to knock on your door. Nobody knocks on your door anymore. We're not allowed to. We're locked down. It is unlikely that you are going to receive that email that says, please come and work with us. Please come and. I think we all have to make our own destinies by making our own decisions. So I would say to you, you need a plan in life. If you don't have a plan, what is likely to happen is that you are going to be part of somebody else's plan. That is somebody else who has a plan that includes taking on people who have no plans of their own. You become part of their plan. They become rich. They become successful in whatever way you measure that. And perhaps you have just helped them to make their dreams come true. So, ladies, I would absolutely encourage you, please do make a plan and include in that plan what's your ambitions, what you enjoy doing. Part of that plan for many of us is, I believe, looking at internationalization. Another outcome, I believe, of the pandemic is a realization that office spaces in expensive cities, in the center of expensive cities all over the world, to perform tasks that are actually driven through technology and data, are no longer necessary. So many of us have proved that we can and have worked from home. We have changed that journey of 1 hour each way on the crowded underground, on the crowded bus, in the stiflingly hot car, along the traffic jammed road. We've changed that for a delightful journey. The journey I made today, ladies. The journey from my bedroom to my sitting room. Entirely 5 meters. And we have learnt that we do not need somebody who is called the boss to be there measuring the outputs of what we do. Are we working hard enough? Are we taking coffee breaks that are too long? Are we taking lunch break? Did we start 3 minutes late? Of course not, because the moment you log into your laptop, your tablet, whatever it may be, to do your work, in the background is that powerful data that is saying exactly how long it took you. We are looking, so that we're driven now by a situation where the boss doesn't have to watch you. He or she simply just has to look at the data in the background. So I think what is going to come more and more from this in the future is opportunities to work internationally for all of us, opportunities to work internationally. For some of us, that may be that we will move abroad, and we will pursue careers part of the time abroad, or maybe full time abroad, and maybe eventually come back to India for when we've had our experience abroad. But I think more and more of us will find that the companies will be looking for the data analysts from India, in India, working from India, but with opportunities to work in the international space. And here, this is where I would like to urge you to take on board internationalization. Now, every degree and any degree that you do from an Indian university has, without a doubt, been very, very carefully constructed to give you the knowledge, and especially these days, the skills, the understanding, and the application to wade your way through that absolute universe of data. The problem, the challenge internationally, is that every degree's strength is every degree's weakness. Each degree from each university is different, it's unique, it is the product of that university, it has its USPs. That is its strength. On the other hand, to the prospective employer in an international environment, the only way that I can tell exactly what you studied is to have a look at your transcript. And I'm a very, very busy recruiter. Perhaps I don't want to do that because I maybe have lots of other applicants. So what makes it easy for me is to have an internationalized qualification. That is such as you would get with the Institute of Analytics, that simply says whatever you studied in India is actually the same as an individual will have studied in any other part of the world. And therefore, I do not need your transcript. I do know what you studied. I know also that qualifications through professional bodies are extremely challenging. They are well respected. They definitely do not grow on trees. And so I would urge you to please listen to my colleagues carefully and consider the opportunity that they will be giving to you, which has been worked on in the background through the college. And I would like you to take on board and maybe include that in your planned path for your education. For your education, I'd like to end with just a little quotation, a little story. In fact, it's a true story, and it relates to the glass ceiling, and it's something that I hope that we can inspire ladies such as yourselves to actually ensure that this story will not be relevant in a couple of years' time. So I was at a social gathering, and I was with a lady and one of the members of her team. This lady is the CEO and founder of an institution that offers remote invigilation. Now, remote invigilation, very briefly, is the use of technology to deliver secure examinations that can be done at home by the candidate, so they escape the big crowded exam room. The invigilation is clearly through the webcam, and part of the security is through the technology, so face recognition to identify the individual, and then analytics of things like the eye movements. So watch, ladies and gentlemen, I'm now cheating. Oh, no, it's far more sophisticated than that. So this is a lady who has founded a company using cutting edge technology. We are at a social gathering, and a couple of people said to the lady, "You must get really, really bored with all this talk about technology, ladies. You know, don't you find it a little bit boring? But look, let's go and get something nice to eat, and there's some quite nice food, and we can talk about the cooking, can't we?" And Luella, my colleague's answer was, "Excuse me, but I love the talk about technology. I am the CEO of the company. Thank you very much for that, but I'm not interested in the food." And ladies, I think those kind of assumptions truly, truly annoy me when someone just takes one look at a lady, takes one look into her face, and decides she wants to talk about the cooking. Nothing wrong with talking about the cooking, but ladies, look, we can be pretty sharp in the world of technology as well. And I would urge you to take good note of my expert colleagues talking to you about the opportunity through the Institute of Analytics. It's been a pleasure to have the opportunity to talk to you. I will now hand back to my colleagues.
Thank you, ma'am, for that encouraging and energetic session. Dear participants, the forum is now open for the question and answer session. Please post your questions in the live chat box. I think, ma'am, a few questions are already lined up. I will just highlight the questions.
Okay. Thank you. What a fantastic question. How is it possible to do international education during this pandemic period? Well, thank you for a fantastic question. And I would say it has always been possible to do international education. But we have not really been open-minded to it. I think, unfortunately, in the 90s, when online education, the online degree first became a possibility, I think we have to admit, and also blame the UK, among other nationalities, it wasn't done very well. It was boring. Someone simply tried to do a little bit of what I'm trying to do now. I'm a talking head. I'm delivering a lecture, and I can't see your faces. But I think what we've now got 20 years on, 30 years on, is some extremely powerful, indeed data-driven tools that actually turn the classroom around and turn education around. So rather than doing one lecture, like now, where one size fits all, and I tell you about things, what we would put is, let me take, for example, mathematics, the teaching of mathematics. Mathematics is particularly a subject where some people have the brain to do this and some people do not have the brain and need a lot longer. We now have the most amazing and powerful tools that are based on individual analysis of the student as they go through the program, that says, yes, this person has understood, no, this person hasn't understood, let's deliver this piece of content to help them understand, let's deliver a few more examples. So we have individualized learning. It's always been there. What has happened is we're just more willing to accept it. So international education, of course, it really doesn't matter where we are when we are sitting at our computer. However, I would say that one thing that we are really, really yearning for is that contact. And yes, the chat box is great for the questions, but I do not think it will ever completely replace the human interaction. But certainly, we have now accepted that we can study from our living room, and we do not need necessarily always to go to university. That suddenly has brought down every barrier to international education. And my understanding is that already the Ministry of Human Resource, Ministry of Human Resource, I'm not sure what the last letter is of the ministry, is also very carefully looking at giving more value to online education. Thank you for your question. I hope that answers. How data analytics gives us an opportunity to work internationally. I think that question could be better answered by one of my colleagues. Mr. Shittich, are you available to take this question? Thank you.
Okay. So this is a question asked by Ms. Jemima Malati. Okay. So guys, data analytics is everywhere. You take a name, you take an industry, you take a segment, you take a company, everywhere is data analytics. Even let's say we are working with a Facebook or we are working with a Google. So they have a huge servers there. They are working on a data. And you will be amazed after listening to this that 90% of the data, right? 90% of the data is there in the world is being discovered or is being originated in last 2 years, right? So we are developing a data in a way where we have quantibles of gigabytes developing every hour all over the world. Let's say if I'm talking about the financial industry, so you guys belongs to the commerce background or the management background who must be working with some fintech companies, right? So fintech companies are all over the world. We have the credit card company, we have the insurance companies all over the world, and all over the world we have 800 million transactions every day. Minimum 800 million transactions every day, even on the Sundays. So this is how huge the data is. Okay. So of course we have a huge opportunities there for the data analytics all over the world, not only in India. But I must tell you one thing. India is among the top 3 destinations in the world for the data analytics. So we have a huge opportunity in India itself. Yes, I hope I have given you an answer.
Thank you very much for that answer, and I would second that. I'm very proud to see, actually, in terms of not just analytics, but the general uptake and technological enablement in India is actually astounding, and it gives you a massive opportunity. In an area where, as my colleague said, a couple of years ago, almost unheard of. Now, there is, I believe, a distinct shortage of data analysts. Am I right?
Yes, true, indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for setting the tone for this webinar. We now have the second speaker of this webinar, Mr. Kshitij Upadhyay, Senior Faculty, ISDC Global. He will be throwing light on the core modules, the skill one acquires, and the career opportunities in analytics. Mr. Upadhyay, is a corporate professional turned academician. He holds a BTech degree in Electronics and Communication and an MBA from IBS Hyderabad. He has rich corporate experience in data analytics, having served in leading organizations such as Tata Teamlease Services, ICICI Bank Limited, and IndusInd Bank Limited. He is passionate about data science and has undertaken various projects. His core research interests include neural network, machine learning, and predictive analysis. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank
Please
you, ma'am.
take over the session.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity and talk to the new young minds from the country. And first of all, I would like to congratulate the Ethiraj College and its management team and the faculty members who conducted this webinar on such a large scale. And that too in the difficult times on the pandemic we are facing right now all over the world. And of course, there's a huge behavioral drift in the industry, and we all are moving to the online modes. And this is the reason we all are sitting here and having a webinar only on the analytics, right? So, thank you. So I would like to congratulate and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you guys. So let me share my PPTs with you guys. Let's tell you something about about the analytics. Guys, can you see my screen? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can.
Okay. So guys, first I would like to tell you about what is Institute of Analytics, the global body for the analytics. So IO is the only professional body for the analytics and the data science professionals. IO is not-for-profit organization that exists to promote the general awareness, understanding, and innovation in the analytics. It also provides its member with the opportunity to network with the other professionals in the industry and to learn about career development opportunities all around the globe. Okay, so let me start with what is analytics, why it is required, right? So analytics is everywhere, as we have already discussed, and we have already seen that take an industry name and take a company name who is not using the analytics. Even before launching an idea, even before launching a product, the analytics comes to the picture, right? So what is analytics? So analytics is basically, we have a historical. So let's say we have gone to a shopping mall or some the grocery shop, and there is a transaction, the historical transactions. So on the basis of that, we can find out what next the consumer could opt the other, the other items or the grocery items, right? So if I put it into the simpler terms, or if I put it into the, in the theoretical way, analysis of data means for finding a deeper insights about the details of the events, which is of course, you have to find out the conclusion. You need to conclude the statements. You need to conclude the data, which has the associations and the relationships among the phenomena or the hidden patterns, etc., for making a managerial decision making. So, guys, I hope most of the people, those who are there live, so they must have to take some decisions in their life, right? And it should be very smart decisions, because the world is turning in a very fast pace. We have to make some smart decisions, Hannah. We all are, the government is taking some decisions to fight pandemic, to fight in every front of the country, right? So we have to make a smart decisions. Now this is an era where we have to take some very, very smart decisions. So what we have? So we have resources, we have historical data, on the basis of the historical data, we need to find out some deeper insights, right? Which will give you an USP, which will give you a unique feature, Hannah. So that will make you different from others, Hannah. Because we almost ask the people that what is different in you, what is something which the others doesn't have. So this will give you an edge over the others, right? So from where we are getting all this data? So there are the different sources. They are the different sources from we are getting a data. That can be a medical diagnosis, it can be a sonar detection, it can be radar detection, it can be aerial photo interpretations. I know many of you have seen this the Uri movie, where they have used the satellite images for the surgical strike, right? So we have many things to find the meaningful data, to find the deeper insight, so that we can strategize our things in a more smarter way. And this is what we much required in today's world. Hannah, I hope we all have a phone which have a face recognition. And I hope we all have watch an advertisement on the TV which says ki Alexa, play a song so and so, right? So what are they? They are the speech recognition. We are using LSTM algorithms there, right? We are using RNN algorithm there. For the image recognition, the face recognition, that we all have the face lock, right, in our phones. So what actually we are doing? We are applying some kind of CNN algorithms there for the computer vision. So this is the beauty. This is the beauty of the analytics. Of course, that's an advanced part of the analytics, but it requires the basics of the analytics. And of course, I'll be taking you on a tour that what all things we are going to learn in this session, right? So there was a time of exit poll, right? We have seen this man, the Arnab Goswami, he's asking for the exit polls. So what actually we are doing there? And some of the political parties, they have hired some Cambridge Analytica or something like that. So some agencies like that, and they are making the predictions, which political party will come into the power, right? So this is again the analytics comes into the picture. You know what? How much they have paid to the Cambridge Analytica? $10 million. So this is a huge amount. And this is how the data analytics company or the business analytics company, they are minting money from the market, right? So not only this, we also go for the text mining, the text analytics. So I told you, we have take the name of an industry or take the name of a domain where we don't have the analytics into the picture. So this is a pic of the Twitter analysis, where we have a meaningful insights. So this is, if I talk about this is by Katrina, and the another half in the right hand side, it is on Katrina that has been fabricated by the media houses. So you can easily see the difference, what Katrina is saying about herself. I hope many of you know this heroine. This is from the Bollywood, and she said she's beautiful. She said she's perfect. She's woman, steel, express. She's talking about herself, calf. But on Katrina, they are Salman, Meet, Host-like, Dream, True, Khan. So we can easily make a sentiment score there, and we can easily make a difference that what the Katrina thinks about herself and what the media houses think about the Katrina. So I hope you got the difference, how the media houses are fabricating the news, right? I'm not offending anyone from the media houses, but this is how we can differentiate by using the text mining or the text analytics. So what is the future? So why we all are sitting here. So we have to understand what is the future of the analytics industry, right? So guys, we can easily make out from this. The global forecast of 2012 said that data science platform market is estimated to grow from $19.58 billion in 2016 to $101.37 billion by 2021. And it is growing at the CAGR of 38.90%. This clearly shows the picture that what is the potential of this particular industry. And this report has been published in 2018, the February 2018. So I hope the figures has been changed now, right? So this is a huge opportunity. This is huge potential that we have. And right now we are sitting at 2020, right? So we have to think more. This is the right time. This is the bang on time that we have to study the data analytics. So few minutes before, I was talking about that India will be in the top 3 destinations in the world by 2025, having 32% of the share in the global market, which is almost the 1/3 of the global market. And there are over 600 analytical firms in India. Of course, they are out of them, the 400 will be the startups, right? So we are emerging. We are the emerging hub for the analytics solutions all over the world, not only for India, but all over the world. And this report has been made by the NASSCOM, the National Association of Software and Service Companies. So we have a huge potential here. This is the Sumit Bansal, CEO and the founder of the Analytics Lab. And so his study says that in 2017, we have 12,000 freshers joined the analytics industry in 2017, which is higher by 8,500 freshers last year, 2016. Now the figures has been changed. Now it will be 70,000 freshers who are joining the analytics industry. I'll tell you how in the later PPTs, the later slides. This is also Kunal Jain, CEO and founder for the Analytics Vidya. It is one of the well-known magazine in the analytics world from India. And whosoever having any kind of interest in the analytics, I would rather suggest, please subscribe for Analytics Vidya. The free subscription, you take the free subscription there, and please subscribe for Analytics Vidya. You will get to know about the current trend going on in the analytics industry in India. See, this is the demand of analytics in the US. How much they are predicted and how much we have the gap, right? Even according to Teamlease Services, this is also a staffing company. It's a recruitment agency, and it says that they require at least 2 lakh analytics professionals by 2020. 2 lakh. See the difference and see the potential that you guys are going to have. 2 lakh professionals, analytic professionals by 2020. And not only this, in 2020, the demand will be more at any cost, I know. And even you can refer the Google for this, right guys? So as I said, big data and the data, the 90% of the world's data was created in the last 2 years. And it is the 50 times growth from the 2010 to 2020. So see the rate, see the growth rate. And we have developed 1 exabyte. You can see the zeros, you can count the zeros over here. This much of data we are growing, right? So now we talk about the analytics, what kind of analytics we are talking about, right? So we have the profiling and the segmentation part, that why is this happening? And now we have the forecasting. We are we are going to learn about the time series modeling, the time series for the forecasting purpose. We have a predictive modeling. We need to predict. So there are some of the classification models over there. So what will happen next? Let's say if I'm working with a financial company, I'm working with a fintech company, right? So I need to find out that the profile of this a particular customer is feasible to provide a loan or not. So I'm just going to predict, that's it. So this is how we are moving ahead. So this is how we are moving for the advanced analytics part, right? Apart from this, we have the ad hoc reports, query drill down, dashboard scorecards, which we are not only using in the Excel that you have seen. We are also moving for the SQL and the Tableau, which is one of the most powerful data visualization tools all around the globe. And we are going to learn all these things in our course. See guys, this is one of the platform that we are going to use in this course, which is called RStudio. RStudio is one of the most powerful analytical software, the open source software, which we are going to use. So there's RStudio, and see the companies who are using the R programming: Facebook, Google, Twitter, Microsoft, Uber, Airbnb, ANZ, Novartis, Roche, New York Times. So there are lot many companies they are using the RStudio. So someone has asked me a question that how the data analytics is used for the jobs internationally. So you take the name of any international company and they are using the RStudio and the Python. There are some of the IT companies which are using R: Accenture, Capgemini, SCL Technologies. The only thing is we have to sharpen our edges. We have to sharpen our edges. These are some of the financial institutions, because many of the students comes to me, they are from the commerce background or they are from the management background, and they used to ask me the question, sir, how we will cope up with the people, those who are already a coder. But they forget one thing, the commerce student and the management student, they know about the business operations. They know how the management works, right? So they already have a domain knowledge. And if they are having a knowledge of coding, let's say in R or in Python programming, or they know how to visualize a data in Tableau or in the Power BI, or they know how to do the data modeling in SAS, so they have an edge over the coders, because the coder is not aware about the business operation. They only have the technical skills, not the business skills, and you guys have. So this is one of the platform. This is SAS. This is Spider, in which we are using Python. We must be this is a Spider, which is also an IDE for the Python. It is integrated development environment. This is Jupyter. It is just like a Spider. This is also a IDE for Python. This is the IBM Watson Analytics used for the artificial intelligence. And nowadays we are using the Kira libraries and the PyTorch in Python, right? So we can also perform the same task in the Python and the R. So this is so Power BI and the Tableau. So the clustering analysis, right? So now let's say guys, I know that many of you have visited the Amazon and the Flipkart website. Yes. And you have, so what happened? What happened when you ordered some items, right? But you don't find your selected items. So of course, the Amazon sites will recommend you some products. Hannah will recommend you some products. So the study says the 40% to 60% of the revenue is coming from their recommendation system. And this is truly amazing. right? So this is how the analytics changing the world. And I used to say this thing in all my classes, that data analytics not only deals with the data, it also deals with the human behavior. I hope I'm not wrong. It not only deals with the data, but it also deals with the human behavior. And this is how it works. If you are if some of you are from the marketing management, so you must be learning the consumer behavior. So what is that? That is actually analytics, right? We must be finding out the attitude, the variables of attitude. Let it be a cognitive attitude, behavior, it's a cognitive attitude, or the behavioral attitudes. So we must be counting on the attitude, and we must be noting it down there. We are quantifying the attitude, right? On the basis of that, we must be doing some research, doing some analysis. On the basis of that, we are saying that, okay, now this brand is good to go. So everywhere the analytics is into the picture. Now see guys, this is one of the screenshot from the Indeed.com. And you can easily see what are the training requirements for the business analytic educations. And I've highlighted in the yellow that education expression with the Python, Apache Spark, NoSQL, Hadoop, SQL, data visualization, machine learning, or artificial intelligence is helpful. And one thing I must tell you, keeping myself very above board, that nowadays company is not looking for a person. Nowadays the company is looking for a complete portfolio. The student who knows SQL, the student who knows Python, the student who knows data visualization, the student who knows the machine learning, they are recruiting the complete package, right? So what we are doing here is we are making a bridge, right? We are giving you a full package, whatever things which are required for the analytics purpose. Okay. So these are some of the jobs in the time of pandemic. In the time of the pandemic, we have 8,307 business analytics jobs. 8,307. It's a huge number, and it is only for the Delhi Gurgaon, I think. Because I'm staying here in Delhi, so I've just taken a screenshot for the Delhi Gurgaon, Delhi NCR. So 8,307 jobs, the business analytics jobs in Delhi NCR. See, on the Times jobs, it's a screenshot from the Times jobs, 32 jobs, only in Delhi location. And if I talk about the Chennai location, it will be more for sure. It will be more. Now let me take all of you on a tour of what all modules we are covering here in this course. What all are the subjects that we are covering here, Hannah? So let me take you on a tour. So we have 8 papers over here. The first module is the statistics with R programming, right? So we are not only giving you, the introduction about the statistics, but also we are slowly and gradually, step by step, we are moving forward with the R programming course, so that you won't feel alone that, okay, I don't know R, so how will I do the statistics? No, this is not the case. We are taking you on a step by step process. First, we will make you understand what is R there, the R codes and the statistics. After that, we will be moving for the Python programming. So Python programming will also be taught in this course from the very basic level to the advanced level. Then we will be moving for the database management in SQL. So SQL will be there. Then we have the SAS and Tableau. SAS is, of course, we were using for the data modeling. and Tableau is one of the best data visualization tool all over the world, right? Then we have a machine learning and AI. Now, from the 5th module, so whatever we have learned till module 4, we will apply all these algorithms from the 5th module onwards. So again, this is a machine learning and AI. It's a machine learning, so we will be getting familiar with the machine learning algorithms. Let it be the KNN algorithm, or it's a SVM, support vector machines, or it will be a decision tree, or the time series analysis, right? And also the AI part. So how the artificial neural network works, random forest, ADA boost, XGBoost. So these are some of the algorithms. And please don't get scared. Please don't get scared. We will be getting, we have a very step-by-step process. We will be moving very slowly and gradually from basics level to advanced level. So there is nothing much higher mathematics we required if you know the statistics, and we are there to help you out at each and every step, right? Then we have the social media analytics, which is very much required. Nowadays we have Facebook, we have the Instagram, we have the Twitter, right? So we are going to analyze all these things. So we have mobile analytics, we have the text mining into it. Apart from this, we will going for the natural language processing. Here we will get to know about the chatbots. We will going to learn about the word stammings, the word limitations, and we will be making some the word clouds over here. And we will also be having some projects on the chatbot, how to prepare a chatbot. And there's the 8th module is about the big data analytics. Of course, we cannot forget the glory of the big data. So we will be learning about the big data Hadoop in this course. So in this program structure, we are giving you a complete portfolio or a complete learning on at least 6 platforms, which is R programming, first one, second one is Python programming, third one is SQL, 4th is SAS, 5th is Tableau, and 6th is big data analytics, big data Hadoop. So we will be learning about the HDFS ecosystem there, and we will be learning about the HDFS systems there. We will be dealing with the big data, the data which has more than 2 lakh rows, 10 lakh rows, 1 crore rows, 1 crore observations, right? So this is how we will be slowly and gradually we will be learning all these things. So these are, of course, the R programming. Here we are going to use the R Studio for learning the fundamental of statistical analysis. Right? We are going to explore our data. We are going to understand the probability and the sampling distribution and the linear regression, of course, in R Studio. Here we have the Python programming, which we are going to learn. And we are actually, in this module, we are preparing a student to learn the advanced modules, such as machine learning and artificial intelligence. So we will not take you straight away to the machine learning or the AI. First, we will teach you what is the Python programming and what is this all about. And after that, we will be going for the emerging technologies. Okay. This is the SQL, of course. We will be teaching the relational database management system in SQL and the normalizations. And also, we are also giving the introduction to the NoSQL database, such as MongoDB or the Cassandra. Here we have the big data analytics, in which we are learning about the Hadoop ecosystems, and the students will learn about the HDFS file system, MapReduce, frameworks, all these things. Along with the integration of R with Hadoop. So whatever we are doing in R, it will be there in Hadoop also. We can integrate R and Hadoop. So here we have the natural language processing. It introduces the concepts of text analytics, the unstructured information analysis for the better decision making. Not only this, we can also go for the classification and the clustering of the text. Topic modeling, we can do it. Information extraction, we can do it. We built chatbots on the by using the natural NLP algorithms, right? Now here's the machine learning and artificial intelligence. We are going to learn about the decision tree, cluster analysis, neural network, support vector machine. Support vector machine and the Bayesian networks is one of my favorite topics, right? I have the forte in this. My forte is into the support vector machine, the Bayesian networks, right? So this is so we are going to learn about the machine learning. Support vector machines is also used for the face recognition. You know that. Of course, most of you will be knowing this. The support vector machines, the Bayesian networks, these are the classification models that we are going to use. Here we have the SAS and Tableau. Of course, the SAS will be using for, for more exposure towards the data modeling. And Tableau, of course, we know this is software which is being required for data visualizations. And we have the social media analytics. So here we will be using the social media, the mobile text, right? We will be using the social media, mobile text, the text analytics with web scraping. Okay, so there is also some part of the information retrieval. So we retrieve the information from the websites, and we will do all kind of analytics over there, right? So guys, before moving on to the next slide, I would like to have a online poll. Okay, I would like to have an online poll. You please tell me which student will you prefer. Say yes or no on the comment box on the live chat that you are still watching on the YouTube, I think. So there is a student. There is one student A, which has a normal regular degree, studied the regular courses, and he doesn't know about the current trends. Now there is a student B with a dual certification with some international professional body like IOA. He knows the current trend of the industry. He studied the analytics, just like the way we are giving all the weapons of analytics like R, Python, SAS, Tableau, big data, Hadoop. So a guy who's enabled with all these things, all these tools, of course, eventually it will improve the decision making of a student, and he must have attended many workshops and the international conferences. So guys, say student B or A, which student will have an edge over the other student? So last but not the least, guys, this is the right time. This is the bang on time to learn the analytics. We already have entered in 2020 and we are facing a pandemic right here. But there is only one industry who is not facing any degrowth, who has not faced any decrement. That is the analytics industry. So guys, here I am ending my session. Let's have a God speed with analytic, not light speed. We all should have a God's speed with analytics. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
I'm just highlighting a few questions which have come up, sir.
Yes, ma'am. So there is a question in the COVID pandemic period, how you overcome the situation and what about your institution has to prepare for the above period. So sir, in the pandemic period, we are already attached with more than 50 plus colleges all over the country. And today in the world of, the digital world, in the online world, we have the lot many online platforms where from where we are giving the live lectures to the students, and it is not like we have a one-way communication that we have in the other online. I'll be there. I'll be teaching you. I will be teaching the students, and that will be a two-way communication. So just now, like I have shared my PPTs with you guys, and you are asking me a question. So in the same way, we will carry out our sessions also. And in the COVID period, we are going with the online classes. Of course, we have to, we have to adopt some kind of hybrid models. So we are going with the online classes right now. In case the period is getting over, we will come to the college and the universities, and we will deliver our sessions, sir. I hope I have given the answer. Why data-driven decision making is important? Yes, a very wonderful question, very nice question. Why the data-driven decisions making are so important? Of course, sir. So let's say, sir, because nowadays the investment is huge, and now we have to make a decision on the basis of some historical data. Let's say, God forbid, if we have taken some wrong decisions, so we will be losing a huge amount of money there. So sometimes we have to simulate the situation there on the basis of the data. So let's say I need to launch a product, and it should have a good brand equity. So what will I do? First, I need to, before launching a product, I need to know whether whether it will fulfill the customer need or not, whether it is required for the customer or not. Then only I can launch the product. If I launch the product, in a fluke. So in a fluke, we cannot expect the product will perform, give the total performance, right? So this is the reason I think I have given you answer. So data-driven decisions is required, to make the decisions more smarter nowadays. First, we have to simulate the situations, and then we have to go for the decision-making process. Thank you. Yeah, so of course, ma'am, we have various organizations, and we have the various regulatory bodies who are, those who are very much taking care for the data tampering and the data frauds. But still, because in India, see, there is a demographic change. We cannot compare the demographic of India with the demographic of UK or US, right? So because of unawareness of the people, we are getting so many fraud calls, and there are so many frauds happening all around. And this is the reason the Facebook or some other organization, they have launched the fact check also. So before getting into the data, before believing any kind of data, we have to make a check. We have to cross-validate it. We have to cross-verify it, whether this data is coming from the authorized bodies or not. And the legal remedy, of course, there should be the strict guidelines, and the regulatory authorities should be more strict on the data tampering and the data frauds. Hello. I hope I have given you the answer.
Thank you very much, sir, for that very informative session. We now have with us Lithika Krishnan, Faculty and Academic Coordinator, Institute of Analytics, London. She'll be sharing with us her experience as an analyst, and also how even a commerce graduate can pursue analytics. Ms. Lithika Krishnan holds an MBA degree from the London School of Business and Finance, Singapore. She specializes in SPSS, SAS, SQL, R, and Python. She has conducted various workshops in numerous colleges and universities on data analytics. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to share my experience here. So I was a student like you all I come from a complete commerce background. I'm a BBA and an MBA graduate. So even in my MBA, I have taken a specialization of finance. So I chose to study internationally because I always wanted to be unique. And if you see, there are a lot many MBA graduates here in India, because there are a lot many MBA universities, like open universities are there. There are online courses. There are a lot many people who are studying MBA. So if you see, the opportunity is becoming less for an MBA graduate. So I thought I wanted to be a unique. I wanted to have a wider scope on my education. So that is why I chose to study an international MBA. So trust me, guys, what happened was, when I gone there to study an international MBA, it was not much difference between an Indian MBA and an international MBA. Though just the way of teaching and the exposure, wherein you got an international exposure, like what an international follow the steps of finance, like the procedures, like accounts keeping, tax, only those things I would have learned. But then it didn't give me a good exposure in my career. When I came back to India, when I was searching a job, I was not unique from other MBA graduates. Though I had an international MBA, I didn't have a unique identification of myself. So that is where I started work. I got a job, but then I started working, and then later on I got to know about analytics. So when I got to know about analytics, I started learning. But initially it was difficult. I wouldn't say that it wasn't difficult, but to get anything, you must have hard work, and then you must show your dedications. And then again, so once after doing an MBA and with analytics, I was able to fetch a good job. Okay. And then not only my career, also my salary prospect and everything changed. So once I studied analytics, and then here, why an as a graduate or in any stream, if you see every colleges provide courses on different specializations like finance, accounts, HR, operations. Every specialization is available in every college throughout the world, not only in India. If you see, internationally also, every colleges are providing this specialized course. But then wherein analytics is being provided by very rare colleges. During my time of study, I didn't have an opportunity to study analytics during my college days. During curriculum, during my academic year, I was not able to study analytics. But then, if you see, what is the difference? If you are studying your finance or accounts or any stream, any department, while getting into a job, you will not have your unique identification. With analytics, why it is helpful? Because you will be able to analyze the things better. And as he was rightly saying, an engineering person cannot understand the term about what is business, what is a business operation does, and what is their process, what is their hierarchical term, and if there is a business problem, how to handle it, right? And as a business person, as we are from a commerce background, we understand the business terminology better, right? And we don't understand about the technology. But here, if you would have got scared, like about, okay, there'll be a lot of coding involved, there's a lot of mathematics and statistics involved, yes, but it is not a lot, but it is a bit of statistics, a bit of mathematics, and then the bit of coding. Here, what you need to understand the most is the applicability and the usability of the coding. And then you must know for which business problem, which type of solution has to be given, which type of pattern has to be given. It again comes under when you understand the business level, and then when you apply, when you know which technology has to be applied here. It's all about the application. It's all about how well you're going to, how effectively you're going to use the applications, right? And also this program will be known as a techno-functional, because you are completely into functionality, and then when you are learning the technology part, you will be a techno-functional expert, and you guys have a lot of opportunities open to you. Because if you see, as Kshitij sir was showing in his PPT, that there is 8,000 job available for a business analyst, right? And same way, if you go and search for an finance people or an accountant job or an operations job, there are a lot many opportunities still available, but the application what you get for that one particular job is huge, a vast applications you get, and then the opportunities as an individual is very, very limited. It is not wider. But then if you see as a business analyst having skills, here what matters again is having your skill sets. So once you have your skills enhanced, once your skills are enhanced, and then when you apply for this job application, if there's 8,000 job, I'm pretty sure that the applications what they get is less than 5,000 applications. Still you have a wider opportunities here, a wider scope. And also as a female, as a woman, we all feel that we have to be independent, right? So this job will give you an independent, you can work from any place, you can take up a small projects, you can work from your place on your convenient time. It's just that you give a business decision. And also the one of the very important part here is your professional body is involved. For instance, now you are studying your analytics paper here, and after graduating, like you pass out from the college and you go back to your work, right? And after down to the line, after 5 years, there will be a new tool coming up, like already if you see Python or SAS is existing in the tool, and there are your college is not provide a course to come back and learn about these tools. So in this cases, your professional body is one of the helpful tool, because as it is globally operating, your professional body is operating globally. It will give you all the current updates, current market trends, current market update. It will give you a continuous professional development. As an individual, it is very important for all of us to keep us updated, keep us updated according to the technology, according to the technology growth, right? So that is the one of the best part, wherein I would suggest everybody to get associated with the professional body, because the professional body will give you the benefits. It will give you, it will also it gives you opportunity to attend a lot of webinars which is happening internationally. And also there was a person who asked a question to Teresa ma'am, like how do we get an international opportunity? So your professional body is one of the gateway through which you will get to know about lot of opportunities which is available internationally, and lot of trends, lot of market trends, what is going on internationally, and also what the companies are expecting, and the job availabilities, the job links, everything will be given by your professional body. So your professional body helps you in all these things. So while during my academics, there was nobody to guide me on how analytics is, what analytics is. And I'm sure like 5 years back, people would have hardly heard this term called analytics. And also if you see now in the current market, there are very, very less education industries who are providing analytics in your academic, that too with your regular degree. Even if you see, even if like after graduating, if you take up a small course of 2 months or 3 months on analytics, will not hold as much as value which your degree holds. While in your degree you are having a specialization of analytics, that will give you a great opportunity, and it's a great platform to you all to learn. And I'm thankful, and and you all are very, very lucky that you are getting an opportunity to learn analytics during your academics. So I'm open to questions now. Any questions you can ask me. And then after learning analytics differently, now I'm able to teach analytics. You don't have to worry that I come from a commerce background, I cannot learn analytics. So here today I am as a faculty for analytics. So as I come from a commerce background, I hold only like 2 years of experience in industry, and I hold a 1 year experience, 1.5 year experience as a faculty, and I have an ability to teach analytics now. So why not everybody can learn analytics, no matter whether you come from a commerce background or any background. Thank you for this opportunity, and I'm open to questions. Any question from, as I come from a commerce background, you will have a lot of questions. I'm open to questions. Please, you can put down your questions now. Okay, how to balance online and offline class? Okay, here I would suggest always the offline classes are much better, as you are getting a new start to a programming language wherein you don't have any exposure to programming language. If there is a faculty with you who can guide you step by step, offline classes are much effective and better and easy to learn. But then online classes, due to this pandemic, wherein you can now start with the online classes with the basic stuff, but then when you are learning with the advanced level, I always suggest you all to go with the offline class where you will have a faculty or an expert who can help you out, who can teach you the concept and how to rectify the errors and where it is usable and where these techniques are applicable. Next question, please. Okay, so in which situation data-driven decision is useful? Okay, I believe for every situation, data is important, because without data, you cannot get the right information, right? Only if the data is there, what has happened, why it has happened, and only when you have a data, only with this information, the data gives, you will be able to make a right decision. So without data, you cannot make any decision. Even in your own life now, for example, you wanted to take a course on analytics, right? So you guys are attending this webinar just to get the information. So these informations are nothing but your data which you're collecting by various sources. You will also Google search and you get various informations, right? With this collective informations only, you will come to a decision whether to go ahead with analytics or not. So here again, for each and every decision, let it be a small decision or a bigger decision, everywhere data is involved. Without data, you cannot make any decisions. You can make decisions, but you cannot make an effective or a useful decisions. Next question, please. Okay, so having a commerce degree and doing a course in business analytics can give an edge in job market. Yes, that is what I was saying. Because if you see, there are two candidates who's going for an interview, a candidate just with a finance degree and a candidate with a financial analytics degree. As an employer, I would suggest to take a financial analytics degree holder, because then as a finance student, he will be having more abilities and capabilities in making decisions and also in making effective reports, and also keeping your work more easier and effective. Next question, please. Okay, for beginners, it's always to start with a business analytics, because it is a flow. You start as a business analyst, then go to a data analyst, then become a data engineer, then to a data scientist. So it is a completely a flow. As a beginner, it's always to start with a business analyst. Here in business analytics, all these concepts are covered of HR, retail, and finance. No matter, all the domains of the analytics are covered. So once these things are clear, then you go to the next step. Any more questions?
There are many questions, but owing to the lack of time, I think we have to wind up the session. Thank you, Likita. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah. Before we hear the formal vote of thanks, I request Mr. Calvin Freddy Paul, Regional Manager, ISDC, to share a few words with us.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Calvin. I'm the Regional Head for Business Development for ISDC, International Skill Development Corporation. On behalf of ISDC, I'd like to thank Teresa ma'am, our Executive Director for Learning, who is connected from the UK. I'd like to thank the IOA team, Mr. Sitich and Ms. Likita, who have given a lot of insight and details about analytics as a professional qualification. I'd like to thank Etraj College for Women for helping us host this event, this webinar. Thank you very much to the Department of Bank Management exclusively, to Usha Priya ma'am, to Dr. Ajita ma'am, and to everybody from Etraj College who had put in your efforts. I'd like to thank all the students and professors from various colleges who had connected from different locations. I'm sure this webinar was of great help for you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mrs. Anupama Rajan, Assistant Professor, Department of Bank Management, to express her words of gratitude.
Thank you, Veena ma'am. Good evening to all. It is my great privilege to thank on the behalf of the Department of Bank Management and ISDC, International Skill Development Corporation, on the successful completion of the international webinar on leveraging technology to make data-driven decisions. The entire webinar has been an enlightening one, and now it is time to thank all the kind hearts who have made this day possible. First, I would like to thank our first resource person of the day, Ms. Teresa Jacobs, for providing a realistic session on data analytics and its global impact. Thank you, ma'am, for such an inspiring and thought-provoking session. I thank Mr. Kshitij Upadhyay, our second resource person of the day, who has emphasized on core skill acquisition for the better prospects of the aspirant in the field of analytics. Thank you, sir, for coming up with such a wonderful presentation. I thank Ms. Litika Krishnan, our third resource person of the day, for sharing her valuable experience in achieving a successful career in analytics. I believe it has motivated the participants for setting up new career goals. I thank the management of Ethraj College for Women and Principal Dr. Mrs. S. Kodai for their support. I would like to thank Mr. Calvin Freddy Paul, Regional Manager Business Development from ISDC, for his earnest efforts in helping us to organize this webinar and providing us with the great speakers. Once again, I thank all the resource persons. I express my sincere thanks to Dr. Ms. T. Usha Priya, Vice Principal of the Self-Supporting Stream and Head, Department of Bank Management, who has always inspired and motivated us towards excellence. I would like to thank the organizing secretaries of the event, Dr. Mrs. E. Ajita and Mrs. Veena Murli, for their support in organizing the event and making it a successful one. Last but not the least, my sincere thanks to all the participants for their cooperation throughout the webinar. Wishing you a great day, stay safe, and thank you all once again.